Hello everyone, welcome to Everyday Prelims series of Shantha Lakshmi IAS Academy. So today in this video let us discuss the topics of 11th and 12th of January 2026. First we are going to discuss about the Bhadrakali temple inscription, and second about the conference of speakers and presiding officers of the Commonwealth, and third about the Niranthar, and finally Honduras country mapping. Coming to our first topic, that is the Bhadrakali temple inscription. So why this is in news? As India is celebrating the Somnath Swabhiman Par, which is the commemoration of the survival, 1000-year survival of this Somnath temple from its first destruction in the year 1026. So as part of the celebrations, there are many articles on the Somnath temple, and this is also one article regarding the sources which is giving the information about the Somnath temple. So there are many epigraphic evidences regarding the Somnath temple, and this Bhadrakali temple inscription is one of those. Here you can see the picture of this Bhadrakali temple inscription, which is telling about the sources of, which is telling about the information of the Somnath temple. So this Bhadrakali temple inscription is located in the Prabhas Patan in the Gujarat state, and this inscription is embedded in the ancient wall of the ancient Bhadrakali temple. So the inscription is embedded on the wall of the Bhadrakali temple, which is presented near this Prabhas Patan in the Gujarat. So this inscription is known as the Bhadrakali temple inscription, and it was carved in the year 1169 AD by the Param Pashupata Acharya Sriman Bhava Brihaspati. So this Acharya was the spiritual preceptor of the Maharajadiraja Kumara Pala of the Anilwad Patan. So this Bhadrakali temple inscription was the eulogistic inscription of this Acharya, who was the spiritual preceptor of the Kumara Pala. And the language used in this inscription is the Sanskrit. Remember, Sanskrit was engraved on this inscription. And this inscription records the ancient as well as the medieval history of the Somnath temple. This Bhadrakali temple inscription tells us about the construction of the Somnath temple in the 4 yugas, in all the 4 yugas, that is the ancient details of the Somnath temple. First, in the Satya Yuga, it was believed to have been built by the Chandra, that is the moon god, and it is built of gold. And then in the Treta Yuga, it was built by Ravana with the material of silver. And in the Dwapara Yuga, Sri Krishna built it with wood. And in the Kali Yuga, the king Bhimadev Solanki built the artistic stone temple, built the temple with the stone material. And this inscription also noted that the 5th temple construction was done by the Kumara Pala in the year 1169 AD at the same site. So this Bhadrakali temple inscription tells us the Somnath temple construction in all the 4 yugas, as well as in the medieval era by the Kumara Pala, who constructed this temple in the year 1169 AD. So this Bhadrakali temple inscription was also engraved in the year 1169 AD. Now coming to our second topic, that is the conference of speakers and presiding officers of the Commonwealth. So India is hosting this 28th conference of this organization, that is the Conference of Speakers and Presiding Officers of the Commonwealth at New Delhi from this 14th to 16th of January 2026. So this conference of speakers and the presiding officers of the Commonwealth was created by the then Speaker of the House of Commons of Canada in the year 1969. And remember, this conference is an independent group. Remember, this is an independent group, and it do not have any formal affiliation with the Commonwealth Parliamentary Assembly, Commonwealth Parliamentary Association, or the Commonwealth Secretariat, or the Commonwealth Heads of Government. So we all know the Commonwealth nations consist of 56 nations, right? Which are the previous colonies of the British Empire. So this conference of the speaker of the presiding officers of this Commonwealth is an independent group, and it does not have any affiliation with the formal associations of this Commonwealth of Nations. But its members are from this Commonwealth Parliamentary Association. Whoever are the members of this Commonwealth Parliamentary Association, those automatically become the members of this conference. And this conference operates on a 2-year cycle with holding the conference of the full members every 2 years and a standing committee meeting also every other alternate year. And what are the aim of this conference of speakers and the presiding officers of this Commonwealth? First is that to maintain the partiality and the integrity of the speakers and the presiding officers of the parliament. And second is the promoting the knowledge and understanding of the parliamentary democracies worldwide. And finally, establishing or developing the parliamentary institutions. And our third topic is Nirantar. So the Union Ministry of the Environment, Forest and the Climate Change has chaired the meeting of this Nirantar, which stands for National Institute for Research and Application of Natural Resources to Transform, Adopt and Build Resilience, which is a platform under this Ministry of Environment, Forest and the Climate Change. So the Ministry of the Environment, Forest and the Climate Change is entrusted with the responsibility regarding the environment conservation, protection and all other things. So in order to effectively implement the policies and the actions regarding the environment, there are many institutions and many institutes and organizations working under the Ministry of Environment, Forest and Climate Change. So in order to enhance the coordination and collaboration between all these institutions, this Ministry of Environment, Forest and Climate Change established this Nirantar portal with the name the National Institute for Research and Application of Natural Resources to Transform, Adopt and Build Resilience. Its main objective is to enhance the cooperation and collaboration among the various institutes under this Ministry of Environment, Forest and Climate Change. And this platform works in the 4 verticals. First is the ecosystem survey and the analysis. So this vertical deals with the research, survey and monitoring of data relating to the flora, fauna and other protected species. And this is led by the Botanical Survey of India, Kolkata Institute. Although there are many other institutes under this vertical, but the leading organization is the Botanical Survey of India, Kolkata. And second vertical is the research and management of the ecosystem surveys. So this vertical deals with the research activities and management of the ecosystem services, that is drafting the policies, wildlife action plans and other climate related issues and the articles and the guidelines regarding the sustainable environment. So this is led by the Indian Council of Forestry and the Research Education, Dehradun. And third is the capacity development support. So this third vertical, capacity development support, aims to create a trained professionals in the environment era. And this capacity development support is led by the Indian Institute of Forest Management, Bhopal, which is mainly intended for creating a pool of the trained professionals. And fourth vertical is the climate change support. So this is led by the National Center for Sustainable Coastal Management. So this vertical deals with the sustainable solutions aligning with the climate change. So these are the 4 verticals under which Nirantar platform operates and leads in the and enables the coordination and collaboration between all the institutes under this Ministry of Environment, Forest and the Climate Change. And our mapping, that is the Honduras. Here you can see Central American country Honduras. Its capital and the largest city is the Tegucigalpa. Its official language is Spanish and its currency is the Honduran lempira. Its political system is the presidential republic as of like the US presidential system. It gained its independence from Spain in the year 1821. Its borders, we have the Guatemala on its northwest, El Salvador on its southwest, Nicaragua on its southeast. On the north we have the Caribbean Sea coast and on the west we have the Pacific Ocean via the Gulf of Fonseca. Its major rivers include Ulua River, which is the longest river of this Honduras. Next we have the Aguan River and Patuca River. And its major lake is the Lake Ojoa. And its highest peak include Cerro Las Minas in the Mount Silac. So that's all for this video. Thank you.